Good morning, people. We're going to give it a couple minutes. Let's see if anybody wants to come in and watch live. We are doing a test play. I've got 6 teams, I think, entered into the roster file, as well as to look for those players on that team. We are going to do a test play of the Broncos at the Browns. I do have a 6-game schedule for testing purposes, and this is one of those games. So, not planning on doing any commentary. Just gonna let the presentation of the game handle it for this. Once we start the sim league, after the rosters are done, then I plan on doing the commentary for the games, but we'll see how that goes. Also, if you have not done so, flip over to Christopher Slovic on YouTube and subscribe. He'll be doing a league with this roster as well. It will be a minute. Like I say, I'm only 6 teams in. I've been using fast and normal play to try to test, and I heard that the game runs a little smoother on slow, so we're going to try slow on this one today. And I think that's just the movement, like there's more frames per second for the animations, I think, is what it's doing. I can't say that for sure, but yep, we're going to give it another, I don't know, another 30 seconds or so, and then we'll get started here. I will stop once the kickoff starts to change. I want to do the auto subs at a different level. So we'll flip over and change that. I had heard somebody say do 85 and 100, I think they said, to get accurate stats, but I didn't feel like that was very accurate, so I'm going to try 170 for this game and see how we end up. But we're going to check it out and see what we get here. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. We're past the 2.5 minute mark. So yeah, we're going to see what we get here on a test play. So we're not going to control anybody, so we can start the game.
Hi there, I'm Chris Berman. Here we go on ESPN. The body may have some wear and tear on it, but the mouth's still in the prime of its career, so are his hands. The NFL's all-time leader in catches by a tight end, Shannon Sharp leads the charge. Denver Broncos, Cleveland Browns. Now.
I'm showing some feedback on my headset too. If you guys are hearing that, let me know. I wonder if it's this controller I'm plugged into, but I don't know for sure. I am going to do the commentary when we start the actual sim league, just because over the test plays that I've done listening to these guys, it's very repetitive, which is unfortunate. But it is a PS2 game, so they were probably pretty limited on disk space. Alright, so once the kickoff starts here, we'll go in and change the auto sub percentages, and then we're gonna let it go itself, and I will probably mute myself so that the commentators can take over. And we do have all of these guys are all-time rosters, so it goes back all the way into the 50s, right? In some cases even the 20s. So if you don't see somebody that you think should be there, that could be why. They might have got beaten out by somebody that was even older. Alright, so there's the kickoff, so let's go in here and change our stuff. Alright, it kept it from the last setting that I did, so that's good. So we don't have to do that piece. Let's go ahead and get... Nope, I didn't change it back to... There we go. Alright, so we're going to let it play out. We're not going to do any commentary on this. We're going to go get some more coffee and enjoy.
their own 20-yard line. Number 86 goes in motion. Number 86 makes the nice catch and is well past the markers for a first down.
Number 86 has a guy shadowing him, but still manages to make the catch. He beats his man cold. It's all about staking your turf.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
And let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one of the best sounds in the game for an offense.
Number 14 really rifles this pass, and they can't connect. Incomplete.
Champ Bailey was on that fly ball on that last play like glue. And he knew where the pass was going, and he stopped it. Incomplete.
That had potential for some yards, Peter, but the defense was on top of it and shut it down.
Good denial there.
Second down coming up. Second down with the tight end right. Number 44 gains 3 yards, and that brings up third down.
Third and 7. Ball for Browns, 38-yard line.
Number 14 throws a big high lob, and it's bobbled and dropped. Incomplete. That will bring up fourth down.
Number 86 had a chance for a mid-range completion back there, but he just couldn't connect. No catch.
That's his first drop, and it is not often you see that from him.
No, normally he's pretty sure-handed.
Bardaki lines up for the punt.
Number 36 to make the return.
Bardaki gets the snap and punts it away. Number 36 shields the punt at the 25. Tackled at the 31.
Number 36 got swarmed by the kicking team before he got very far. That nice punt pretty much goes unanswered.
The Broncos will start this first play of the drive at the 31-yard line. Number 7 just rifles this one, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Number 34 swatted that one away cleanly. The receiver didn't have a prayer in getting that one.
Second and 10. Ball at the Broncos, 31-yard line.
Sharp goes in motion. Number 79, Jackson back at the 29.
79 nails his man behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to cost the offense a few yards. Oh, yeah, that's a great job of getting to the quarterback. Nice sack.
Nice job eliminating any forward progress on that play. That will bring up a third and long. Number 7 throws a heater right side line. Caught. Well short of the markers, however. It'll be fourth down.
Number 30 managed to take him down just before he got to the markers.
And Peter, he reminds me a little of a lion laying in the weeds out there waiting to pounce.
And he cat-like reflexes to bring that guy down. What a matchup.
Number 42 lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Number 42 gets the ball and pummels this one deep. Number 21 takes it at the 18. Dragged down at the 26.
Number 21 returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. make much of a dent.
The Browns stalled early last drive, and we'll have to wait and see what happens here. They'll start at their own 26-yard line. Romanowski tackles him behind the line of scrimmage.
Bill Romanowski targeted the ball carrier early and didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
Peter, once he closes his grip around you, you are not going to get free regardless of how evasive you are.
Not with that strength. With those guns, he could probably juggle bowling balls or wide receivers for that matter.
Number 44 gets the toss and only gets back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go back and revisit that last tackle in the backfield. Great stop.
Well, you don't have to drop any quarters into this guy to get him going. Bill Romanowski just doesn't have an off switch out there. Even after 15 pro seasons, he's an animal.
Third down, one man down. Number 14 zips it to the right sideline, and the catch is made well past the markers for a first down.
Ineligible receiver downfield. Number 54, offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat,
Number 54
third down.
had no business being downfield on that one. He's supposed to stay on his side of the line, so he was an ineligible receiver.
Here's the place they didn't want to be, looking at a third and long situation.
The penalty was a killer. It just makes so much harder to get things done.
Number 92 gets the sack at the 16. That will bring up fourth down.
Number 92 gets the sack deep in the pocket. That's going to be a sizable loss. Watch this. Oh, yeah, that's going to push them back, way back. Great defensive play.
They pushed them back even farther. And Peter, could this fourth down get any longer?
Well, theoretically, yeah, but it's plenty long enough already.
Gardocki lines up deep in his own territory to punt it away. Gardocki takes the long snap and punts it away. Number 36 fields the punt at the 44. Tackled at the 48.
Number 36 did a nice job getting some yards after fielding the solid punt.
The Broncos start this one on the center logo at the 48-yard line. Carries it past scrimmage and picks up a couple.
Number 23 had some blocking help on that last one, but he was still left with nowhere to go.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
6-yard line.
Number 44 picks up about 2, and that brings up third down. Smith goes in motion. Number 34 tips it away on the coverage. Incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Number 34 came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception here.
A nice defensive play will give him his second batted ball of the game.
Yeah, great read there.
Number 42 lines up for the punt. Number 42 takes the snap and punts it away. The Browns have had some trouble moving the ball recently. We'll see what they do on this drive as they start at their own 20-yard line. Number 42 catches it in the flat and gains a couple.
Pass complete. Number 31 with the push out of bounds. Second and 8. Ball at the Browns, 22-yard line.
Number 14 lofts this one out to the left, and it's
Pass is
not
incomplete.
reeled in.
Number
Incomplete.
86.
Number 86 did not make that completion
Champ
and
Bailey
would have
with
had
the
some
coverage.
room on the outside had he made it.
That's the third incompletion his way, Peter.
Yeah, and he's starting to look a little frustrated down there, too.
Third down and 4 wideouts in the
Ball
game.
at the Browns, 22-yard line.
Number 42 didn't
Pass is
haul that
incomplete.
one in, and it falls
Number
incomplete.
42 was
Fourth
the
down
intended
coming
receiver.
up.
Number 20
Number 20
did a
with the
brilliant
coverage.
job keeping watch over his zone. That pass didn't have a chance.
Well, the D holds tight on third and long and forces an incompletion. That was a good call by the defensive coordinator.
Oh, it sure was. Perfect D for that
36
situation.
makes the
And it will
return.
bring up fourth down. Kardaki lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Kardaki gets the ball and punts it away. Number 36 gets it at the 37. Brought down at the 40.
Number 36 didn't have much room to work with back there. The special team squad made sure he couldn't respond to that really nice punt.
First and
The Broncos
10,
will
Denver.
start this drive at their 40-yard line. Sharp goes in motion. Number 23 grabs the
First
rope
down,
right side
Broncos.
and is well past the markers for a first down.
Number 7 has little problem completing this pass. He makes it look so easy, and he's getting paid so much money, Dan, it makes you wonder.
And there he is with the catch. Well, look, you got an easy job, Peter, and you made a lot of money. What's the difference?
Well, the difference
First
is
and
I
10.
got to work with you.
Ball
Oh,
at the
yeah.
45.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they remove the chains.
And let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one of the best sounds in the game for an offense.
First down, 10 yards to go. Number 23 gains 3 yards, and that brings up second
Number
down.
34 with the tackle. Second and 7. Ball at the 42-yard line.
4 receivers line up as the defense settles into a nickel package.
Number 87 goes in motion. Number 44 takes it for a second carry and picks up a couple. Number 7 fires this one over the middle, and they get the first on third and long.
Shannon Sharp almost bobbled this one away, but manages to keep possession. Way to keep your cool.
A nice gain, and they easily convert on third down.
Yeah, that was a good call.
First down,
10.
just a single receiver on the field. Smith goes in motion. Number 23 has his number called on first down and
6
will
yards.
gain close to 6.
Tom Nalen just powered his way through the line back there, clearing a path for the ball carrier. I'll tell you what, Dan, it's great to have a big guy in front of you
Second and
doing all
3.
the dirty work.
They move the ball, and it will be second down. Number 44 has his number called on second down and gains about 3 yards.
Number 27 just planted the ball carrier in the turf short of the markers. But the only thing that's going to grow there is the D's morale.
They don't allow them to convert,
with another big stand.
Number 23 will get the handoff and passes the line. Breaks free. Tackled at the 9. It'll be first and
down,
goal.
Broncos.
First down, goal
First
to
and
go.
goal. Ball at the 9.
Number 7 rifles it out left side, and it falls incomplete.
Shannon Sharp staked out some turf in the middle back there, but was not able to reel in the catch. Incompletion.
That falls incomplete, but it would have been a minimal gain had they completed it anyway.
Second and goal. Ball at the 9.
This pass will fall harmlessly to the ground, and it's incomplete.
Number 34 does some outstanding coverage here. He sticks close on the post and rejects the pass for the incompletion. That's some great football.
That's incomplete, and the defense keeps the points off the board.
Perfectly played. Great call by the defensive coordinator.
Third down coming up. Number 7 ropes this one to the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Ed McCaffrey makes the catch with 3 defenders on his case.
I just don't know why the throw was made into triple coverage.
Hey, it worked.
Yes, it did. That's his first touchdown of the day.
And I think he's a guy you can count on to make those end zone catches. He sets a high standard for himself, and he usually meets it.
Here's the extra point,
The extra point is good.
It's good. The ref gets the signal, and we're set.
Watching the game, we on that new ESPN football game. All right, man. Cool. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it.
The Browns
First and
haven't
10,
got much
Cleveland.
out of their offense recently, and we'll see if they can get back on track here. This drive begins at their own 20-yard line. Number 86 goes in motion. Number 44 gains 5 on the play, and that brings up second
Bill
down.
Romanowski with the tackle.
And that'll do it for
That's the
quarter
end of the
number
first
1. The
quarter.
Broncos are out in front 7-0. Second down from the I. Number 44 gets the call again and chews up about 4 on the play.
Third and 1. Ball at the Browns, 29-yard line.
Number 84 goes in motion. Number 44 picks up a yard brings up fourth down.
Number 73 brought down the ball carrier before the markers. There was some gain there, but not enough for the first.
The defense's back was against the wall, and they rose to the challenge, Peter.
Yeah, Dan, that's great D. They had to make a stand here, and they stood together.
It will be fourth down. Gardocki gets ready to punt this away. Gardocki gets the snap and pummels this one deep. Number 36 fields the deep punt at the 22. Dragged down at the 30.
Number 36 returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. It doesn't make much of a dent.
The Broncos offense takes the field, and they will start out at their own 30-yard line. Number 23 dodges this one way out right and picks up a couple.
Second and 7. Ball at the Broncos' 32-yard line.
Number 88 goes in motion. Number 23 gets the ball again and chews up about 4 on the play. Makes the catch out to the left, and they convert on third down.
Number 7 lived
First down,
dangerously on that
Broncos.
play with a pass into double coverage, but the throw was on target. What a pass.
Nice play, and they will convert on third.
Great execution, Dan. They did everything right.
First down, 3 wideouts in the game. Number 7 dumps this one off, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Hey, D, what's up?
57 managed to disrupt things. He got in there and he smacked that pass away. Great D.
Potential for some nice yards, but the defense plays it tough. That will bring up second down.
Second and 10. Ball at the Broncos' 42-yard line.
Yeah, later tonight I get to kill the pins, but it's the last night of the Sunday league, so that's a plus. I don't think I'm going back to that league next year.
Check out this replay, Dan. Watch the focus here.
He's got it, and I must say that was some clever maneuvering to get into a position where he could pick it off.
You can't coach instincts like that.
Boy, that was a heads-up play to come away with his first interception of the game.
Yeah, you gotta love D like that.
The Browns are going to try and capitalize on the interception. They'll start this drive at the 47-yard line. Number 44 picks up about 2, and that will bring up second down.
Number 44 used the blocking, but this stingy defense didn't give up much at all on that last play.
Not much there. It'll be second
You
down.
killing bots today?
Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
Second down, 2 tight ends in the game. Number 44 gets his 7th carry of the game and moves forward for 7.
Number 44 played smart and used his blockers to perfection on that last play.
A great job to move the ball and get themselves into a 3rd and short situation. This is a critical play for this drive.
Yeah, now, Dan, they can just fall forward and make the play.
Sounds easy.
Dude, you're not supposed to be doing work on Sunday.
Number 44 picks up about 2, and they will move the chain.
That sucks.
Number 86 goes in motion.
I got my state tournament next weekend. Be in Marietta on Saturday and Austell on Sunday.
Number 44 will get the carry on first down and picks up a couple.
Number 77 with the tackle.
Second down.
Just hoping the work week goes smooth so I don't have to be stressed out about nothing.
Number 14 throws a bullet to the flat and it's caught at the 32.
I had
At the 30.
huge tickets last week, or a huge ticket. Well, there was 3 tickets that went together, but one of them was large. It was 100 and I think it was 194 offers, and then 16 of them weren't going to launch, and they did another ticket to replace those 16, which I also had.
Number 82
I worked over, I think it was Tuesday night till a little after 10. And then I had planned on doing it Wednesday also so that I could have it done Thursday morning so the builder could push out the offers to the different agents by Friday, which was the launch day, and they freaking canceled it Wednesday morning. So all the time that I put into it before was wasted. And the build's like, I don't understand what they're doing, and I'm like, well, I mean, at least they pay me to waste my time, so...
sailed just left to the upright.
Well, Dawson puts everything he has behind this kick, but it just doesn't happen for him.
In all fairness, that's a pretty long kick. In fact, it's so far away he may not even realize he missed it yet.
You know, Dan, it may be time to get that prescription updated. They're doing amazing things with trifocals these days.
Watch it there, young fella. The Broncos were intercepted last time out. We'll see what happens here. We'll start at the 38-yard line. McCaffrey goes in motion.
And just to try to put that into some kind of perspective, it takes about an hour to do 4 with all the screenshots that you have to have. So you can imagine how much the 200 with the 2 tickets together would be.
For the touchdown.
And McCaffrey fights for every inch of turf he can get. Watch here as he makes the catch.
Right there, and then he runs for a few more.
Classic overachiever, not unlike myself.
That's his second TD reception, and obviously the passes are coming his way when they get in the red zone.
Well, he's
Takes
taken
some
on the
healing to
role of
attempt the extra
scorer
point.
today, Dan, and I got to tell you,
No, I think there's an option in the utility for this thing to do the body types by weight. So I think I'm going to run that next time I'm in the utility. I don't know how much difference it'll make on what's there already, but hopefully it'll do something.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Elam booms a beauty here. Number 21 downs this in the end zone for a touchback. The Browns' offense is on the field, and they have not produced well at all. They're looking for an answer as they start this drive at their own 20-yard line. Number 44 gains 5 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Second and 5. Ball at the Browns, 25-yard line.
Number 86 goes in motion. Number 44 gets past the line and maybe picks up 1 on the play. He's got such a vice-like grip, Peter. It's got to be hard to break out of his grasp even when you're one of the slipperier runners.
Absolutely.
Ball at the Browns, 26-yard line.
Number 14 floats this one out to the right sidelines, and it's incomplete.
Number 84 had that ball in his hands on that play, and then he just dropped it.
That will bring up fourth down, and what a disappointment. That would have given them the first.
You got to make those plays when they come your way.
Tardaki lines up to punt after the 3 and out.
Number 36 to make the return.
Tardaki takes the long snap and punts it away. Number 36 fields the punt at the 33. Tackled at the 43.
Number 36 racked up a few yards on the run back there, whittling down the size of the punt a little bit.
The Broncos come out on offense and are well ahead.
Well, thanks for stopping by, D. Appreciate it. I'm just, as the title would suggest, actually I don't know if the title updated properly or not, but it's, I've got the 49ers, the Bears, the Bills, the Bengals, the Broncos, and the Browns all entered for the all-time franchise rosters. So I'm just doing a test play to kind of get a look at the stats and all that, and I changed the auto sub percentages. Somebody had told me to do 180 out at 80 and in at 100. I think I might have said 85. I can't remember. But I dropped it to, it didn't, still seemed a little off to me, so I dropped it to 70 and 100. I've seen a couple plays, and I don't know if it's related to that, because I wasn't changing that before at all. And I think they had it at 30. But I've seen a couple of plays where there's been an offensive lineman as tight ends. And I've seen it 3 times now, and 2 of them have been complete, thrown to that person. And then the last one was incomplete, but it's because somebody tipped it. So I don't know if that's a result of the auto sub stuff or if something else is going on.
Puts a lick on the receiver and separates him from the ball. Incomplete.
Number 31 stayed so close to his assignment he could have taken his calls for him. Incomplete pass.
On second down, they try for
Sorry, I'm still drinking coffee and forgot to mute there.
that will bring up third down.
Nice pressure that time.
Number 7 unloads this to the right sideline, and it's complete for a first down and a whole lot more.
Holding. Number 22, defense. The penalty is declined.
Wow, called defensive holding there. I thought that was going to be holding on the offense. Brown's not faring too well thus far. Had a couple opportunities to get first downs when they've dropped some passes, so got to get that turned around if they want to compete. One note, I have not gotten rid of duplicate numbers on the rosters because this game does allow that, and I didn't want to take away anybody's number really, so there are duplicate numbers in some cases. 21-0. The Browns are struggling.
Terrific completion in double coverage here. Wow. Now that is one confident QB.
That's his third TD reception, and obviously the passes are coming his way.
Yeah, all big passes.
3 touchdowns for McCaffrey, huh?
Those are some impressive numbers. Look at those receiving.
114 at halftime.
Now the extra point, and it's good.
having a huge day. You better start covering him.
The ref gets the signal, and we're set. Elam rockets this one deep. This will fly out of the end zone for a touchback. What a kick. Well, Peter, some interesting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. But punting is not going to win you a game. Although it looks like they are trying to do that. They need to put a drive together and get into the end zone.
Even at 21-3, if they'd have made that field goal, still not looking good.
Browns are fading fast and are in need of a score. Their offense will start this final drive at their own 20-yard line. Number 44 will get the carry on first down and hands left. Tackled and the clock will continue.
I need to look at the utility on the coach stuff too, because I would like to see what is it, Cleveland, and because they got Jim Brown at fullback, and then there's another one too. It's the Bears with Nagurski. Anyway, I'd like to look at that and see if there's an adjustment I can do to make it different for. Well, they got Mary Motley here as well. Oh, dude, you got to catch the ball. What are they doing? I'd like to see them hand the ball off to the fullback a little bit more to utilize those guys. So I'm wondering if I can do it in the head coach options for. I know they got percentages for run and pass and all that stuff and formations, but I don't know if they have anything for how many times, like a percentage of the carries that go to the fullback or anything. But if they do, I'd like to raise that because I'd love to see those guys get a little more touch. Especially in that case. Jim Brown was pretty good and Nagurski was decent. And they're listed on Pro Football Reference as fullbacks, and I didn't want to move them to halfbacks just to make sure they got touches. A typical Cleveland team. Well, can always ask Scott about that, can't we? I did a test play season, not season. I did a 6-game schedule just for checking stats and everything, and I think they sucked on that too, if I remember right. Let's see if I can go look at it here. So I'm saving them so I can compare. I want to make sure that everybody can beat everybody. I don't want it to be. I mean, there can be blowouts. I don't mind that. Well, they better start covering him. Holy smokes, dude! Having a huge day. They were 1-4. I did not keep the games, so I don't know who they beat. But the Broncos were 4-1. The 49ers were 4-1. The Bills were 3-2. The Bears were 2-3. Browns were 1-4, and the Bengals were 1-4. So I'm trying to play through a few times. I think I have 6 different schedules set up, and I'm going to play through each one just to make sure that the standings change and that not everybody's the same every time. Which I'm hoping will be fine because I do have the consistency stuff in the game. It'll slightly, like they're not 100%, you know. So they're like 80, somewhere between 80 and 90. So I'm hoping that will be enough to allow different things to happen. Because I have everybody in for shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry, I got distracted by something else. I have everybody compared to everyone else for their stats to come up with the ratings, and it seems like it should be pretty close for everyone. To be competitive, but that's what I'm doing the test games for, is to make sure that it's going to be. Now, that there could be exceptions to that, because I know, like, teams with, not as long of a history might not have as good of players, like, say, the Texans. Because technically the Oilers are part of the Titans, so that's where those players went. They're getting ready to give up more points. It'd have to be a huge comeback in the second half.
Number 30 came in and got a hand on that football. He left no chance for a reception.
On second down, they tried for the first. Played well by the defense. That will bring up third down.
So yeah, I just want to go through a couple of schedules with the 6 teams that I have done, just to make sure that they can end up being pretty much in any spot in the standings after everybody plays everybody. So they each play 5 games, one against the other 5 teams. And it's kind of just random on whether or not they have home or away games. But they have 2 or 3 of each. Like, it's not going to be everybody is away.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Elam rockets this one deep.
And actually, this is game number 4.
This in the end zone.
So the Bengals beat the Bears 34-10. The Bills beat the Broncos 13-10. The 49ers beat the Browns 20-12. And now we have both 0-1 Broncos and Browns playing this game. So I may show some of the other games. Like I said, this is schedule 2 of the testing. And I have 6 total. So we may show a couple more games with the testing piece here and there. Maybe even one more today. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I do need to get back to the pro strategy football so I can get the playoffs done. Alright, see you, Dwayne.
Number 44 gains 3 yards, and that'll do it for the first half of this one. The Broncos in command of this one, 24-0. And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our studios in Bristol for the ESPN halftime report. Boomer?
All right, Dan, we'll get back to you in a bit. But welcome, everybody, to the ESPN Halftime Show. I'm Chris Berman. Let's take a look at the numbers from our first half, and you see red zone offense, as is often the case, has played a big role thus far. The Browns are certainly losing because of it. It's hard to win when you play like that. Let's get started in this one early in the first quarter. Number 14 connected with his man on this one. The Broncos, towards the end of the first quarter, the Broncos inside the red zone. Number 7 would drop back and put one right on the money. A 9-yard touchdown for the Broncos. The Broncos, later on in the second quarter, Broncos out in front by 7. Number 29 shows some great awareness here as he gets himself into position to pick this one off. The Broncos back on offense after a missed field goal. Easy Ed McCaffrey was definitely a key, as he was able to work his way open for a big one here. A 62-yard touchdown for the Broncos. Broncos out in front, 14-0. Number 7 would find his target on this one. A 16-yard touchdown for the Broncos. The Broncos move ahead big and now lead by 21. The Broncos late into the second quarter, the ball at their own 32-yard line. Number 7 would drop back and deliver a strike on this one. That set up a short 25-yard field goal. Browns still late in the second quarter. Browns losing by 24. Number 14 would find his target on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Browns are down big at halftime, 24-0. Today's halftime hero has turned in an incredible performance thus far. Easy Ed McCaffrey has played like a man possessed. And now let's return to the second half with Dan Stevens and Peter O'Keefe.
Thanks, Chris. And today's game has been presented in ESPN Game Sound, designed and developed in collaboration with Dolby, the leader in surround sound technology. The Broncos will get the ball first here in the second half, and they are dominating this game. Currently, they are up large, 24-0. Let's get down to the field and the action. Dawson kicks it, and the second half has now started. Number 20 runs out for a touchback. Number 20 downs this in the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos have yet another shot at scoring and are in command. Their offense takes the field and starts this drive at their own 20-yard line. Picks up a yard on the play, and that brings up second down.
With the tackle.
All right, what have you got? Okay, all right.
Second down, both wideouts to the right.
Ball at the Broncos' 21-yard line.
Number 32 goes in motion.
Number 23, the ball carrier. Number 56 with the tackle. Third down.
Oh, let's watch this. 5 wide out versus a D that is wisely loaded up on DBs.
And it falls incomplete. It'll be fourth down.
Ed McCaffrey looked like he was all over that one, but it just got away somehow. Tough incompletion.
That's his first drop, and it is not often you see that from him.
No, normally he's pretty sure-handed.
Number 42 lines up to punt after the 3 and out. Number 42 gets the snap and pummels this one deep. Number 21 fields the deep punt at the 32. Brought down at the 41.
Number 21 returned for a few there, but after that gigantic punt, it was like tearing a single page out of War and Peace. It doesn't make much of a dent.
The Browns offense will start this drive at their 41-yard line. Number 82 goes in motion. Number 44 chews up 4 yards, and that will bring up second down.
That's the way to work 'em.
Second and 6. Ball at the Browns' 45-yard line.
Number 44 gets the call on second down and heads upfield. Popped out of bounds at the 44. It will be first down.
Number 44 has been taken at both outside and inside the tackles, but the D is not letting him get too free. So far, he's had to work hard to get 52 yards on 13 carries.
Number 44 catches it in the flat, and that will be good for a gain of 8.
Number 44 had a defender close by, but was able to bring down the catch.
Definitely a slow start, but he's finally got a completion, And maybe now, Peter, he has time to make his mark on the
Second and
game.
one.
Well, where was he in the
Ball
first
at the
half, Dan? Because
36-yard line.
I didn't notice him on the field at all.
Second down, just a single receiver on the field. Number 44 will take the handoff and heads wide right. Eventually tackled at the 25. First down.
Number 44 has a great offensive line in front of him. They made that play happen. Yep, those blockers opened up the hole for him. A huge game.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chain.
Great execution.
Number 44 picks up
Number
a yard
44,
on the play,
the ball carrier.
and that brings up second
Number
down.
36
And
with the
that,
tackle.
Peter, was a terrific tackle by, in my mind, one of the most athletic defenders in the game today.
Second
No
and
argument here, Dan. I saw
Ball at
him
the
working out during
24-yard
the
line.
week, and I'll tell you what, he could bench press a Mack truck.
Number 44 carries it for the 15th time and gains about 3 yards.
Okay, fellas, we went over this all week in practice. Now we're going to get it this time. Now we're going to go just like it is. We're going to execute, and we're going to stay strong, and we're going to get to the spots we need to. Okay, fellas?
Third
and
down,
6.
and this is the
Ball
7th
at the
play
29.
of the drive. Number 84 goes in motion. Number 33 crosses this one, and they get the first on 3rd and long.
Number 33 made a fantastic catch in double coverage. Keep getting him the ball, guys.
A nice gain, and they easily convert on 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Number 44 has his number called on 1st down and gains about 3 yards.
Number 49 with the tackle.
Cleveland, let's get in the end zone.
Second and goal. Ball at the 3.
It's all screaming, pass to the end zone. Great quarterback, plus they're money receivers right here.
Number 79 makes the hit in the backfield at the 5.
Number 79 was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
They don't let that play get back to the line of scrimmage, and that will
Third
bring
and
up
goal.
3rd down.
Ball at the 5.
Number 14 zips it to the left sideline, and it's caught for a touchdown.
Touchdown, Brown!
Number 14 makes a terrific completion in double coverage here. Wow, now that is one confident QB.
The touchdown was his for the taking, Peter. Good individual effort.
Yeah, great teamwork, too.
Here's the extra point, and it's
Point
good.
is good.
The ref gets the signal, and we're set. This will fly out of the end zone for a touchdown. getting information up on the screen.
Oh, you bet. They turned the ball over, but they have survived their mistakes. But you can't survive that kind of sloppy play for long. It's going to come back to bite you.
First
Look,
and
Dan,
10,
great receiving
Denver.
yards there. That will help your fantasy team.
Number 23 gets the ball and heads out right. Back down at the 26.
Number 78 used his size to his advantage by doing some key blocking on that last play.
They move the ball, and it will be second down.
Second and 4. Ball at the Broncos' 26-yard line.
Number 44 gains 5 on the play, and that brings up first down.
First down, Broncos. First and 10. Ball at the Broncos' 31-yard line.
Number 23 takes his 13th carry of the game and maybe picks up 1 on the play.
Number 23 used the blocking, but this stingy defense didn't give up much at all on that last play.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Second and
Got to
8.
take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
Second down with the tight end right. Number 32 goes in motion. Number 23 picked up about 12, and that will bring up first down.
Number 23 keeps it in the family on this play, and he had a lot of brothers to help him. Yeah, that design run was a success because he followed his blockers. Without him, he wouldn't have gone anywhere.
A well-designed play there, Peter, and they will move the chains.
Great execution.
First and 10.
Wow, those are nice stats. Way to carry the ball.
Number 32 takes it off the toss and gets past the line. Runs out at
Number
the
32,
49.
the ball carrier.
Number 32 wasn't very nice on that last play. Gave the defender his nasty stiff arm, and that's how you win friends and influence people in the NFL.
Second and 3. Ball at the 49.
Carswell goes in motion. Number 23 gains 10 yards on the play, and that brings up first down.
First down, Broncos.
Nice gain on this baby. Look at him eat up the yardage here.
First down,
First
3
and 10.
wideouts in the game.
Ball at the 39.
Number 44 gets the ball on first down and will end up losing a couple.
Number 95 targeted the ball carrier early. Didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
They put a stop to this play behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty good call by the defensive coordinator.
Agreed, Dan. They had it all locked up there.
That will bring up second down. Number 7 throws a heater, and the completion is good for 6.
25 was getting double coverage there, but it wasn't enough to stop him from making a catch.
They move the ball, and that'll bring up third down. Catches the ball over the middle, and they get the first on 3rd and long.
Number 7 played the pass perfectly, zeroing in on his man despite the coverage. You know, it's all about accuracy in that situation.
And Peter, that time, neither of those guys really had a height advantage on the other.
Yeah, and sometimes when you find yourself locked in a matchup like that, it simply becomes a question of who wants the ball more. Advantage offense there.
Number 7 throws a bullet to the flat, and the catch is made at the 15. Blocked down hard at the 1. It'll be first and goal.
Number 23 adds a bunch to that completion. Watch the replay.
There's the grab, and he just takes off.
He just loves to see those little white lines go by underneath his feet.
A nice run after the catch, and that's what they expect from him.
Heck, that's his job description. You won't see him running a post route, but you will see him make plays off those shorter catches.
And that'll do it for the third quarter. The Broncos in command of this one, 24-7.
Look at the quarterback and the star tight end there. You got to think they'll try to hook up.
Number 23 gets the handoff and will lose about a yard here.
Number 80 targeted the ball carrier early. Didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
They stop that play for a bit of a loss, but it will still be second and short. Number 32 goes in motion. Number 23 takes it for his 17th carry and maybe picks up one on the play. Third down, goal to go. Number 23 picks up a yard on the play, and they will be just shy of the markers. Fourth down. Fourth down, and the field goal unit is on the field. Elam from 18 yards, and it's good.
Jake Plummer handles this high snap perfectly. Sets up the ball. There's the kick, and it's good. 3 points.
They'll take the 3 points, but they were hoping for 7.
But that's the second time today they get close only to have to bring in the kicker.
Jason Elam kicking off for the Broncos.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Elam booms a beauty here. Number 21 downs this in the end zone for a touchback. The Browns get their offense on the field and will start this drive at their own 20-yard line. Number 44 goes in motion. Number 14 throws a beauty to the right side, and it's
Pass is
tipped. Incomplete.
Number 49 with the deflection.
Number 14 knows how to spread the ball around, as you can see by this passing chart. He's getting the ball into his receiver's hands and has piled up 65 yards and 1 touchdown.
Second and 10. Ball at the Browns, 20-yard line.
Number 44 gains 5 on the play, and that will bring up third down.
Come on, Browns, let's go. We need a first down.
Third and 5. Ball at the Browns,
Number 77 sacks him back at the 21. It'll be 4th down.
Number 77 goes in unblocked and nails him to the ground. The O-line should be embarrassed. Watch this. Oh, yeah, sacks don't get much easier than that.
That'll be his first sack of the game. Gardocki gets ready to punt this away.
Punt formation. Number 36 to make the return.
Gardocki takes the snap and punts it away. Number 36 fields the punt at the 40. Stop at the 48.
Number 36 racked up a few yards on the run back there, whittling down the size of the punt a little bit.
The Broncos offense takes the field, and they are already halfway there. They'll start at the 48-yard line. Sharp goes in motion. Number 23 takes his 19th carry of the game and only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Number 52 was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
That's his second tackle so far.
Ball at the 48-yard line.
Number 23 chews up 4 yards, and that will bring up 3rd down. 3rd down from the I. Number 7 throws a bullet to the flat, and it's caught at the 46. Tackled at the 34. It will be first down.
Number 44 must be wondering if he's in the twilight zone, Dan. There was absolutely no one there to cover him, and it doesn't get much easier than that. Yep, the D must have called the wrong formation, I think. That was a blown play all the way.
What a big play on 3rd down, Peter. His run after the catch is what made the play work.
Yeah, Dan, you have to fight for those yards in that situation, and that's exactly what he did.
Number 87 goes in motion. Is at the 25, eventually shoved out at the 22. That will bring up first down.
Number 23 finally makes the play, but not in time. Let's have another look. Oh, yeah, gave up a lot of yards before forcing him out of bounds.
First and 10. Ball at the 22-yard line.
Number 44 has his number called on first down and rambles for about 5. Second down, and they line up with 3 tight ends.
17.
Number 23 gains 3 yards, and that brings up 3rd down. picks up the first down.
Number 23
First down,
can thank his
Broncos.
blockers for that last play. If it wasn't for them, that play would have tanked.
A big gain on third, and they will easily move the chain.
Perfect call for the situation, Dan. No trouble in getting the first.
First and goal. Ball at the 9.
Number 44 picks up a yard on the play, and that will bring up second
Number
down.
52 with the tackle.
Number 44 had some blocking help on that last one, but he was still left with nowhere to go.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
Second and goal. Ball at the 8-yard line.
Number 23 has his number called on second down and
Touchdown,
hands wide
Broncos.
left. Touchdown!
This game has gotten ugly.
Like a kick me sign as he runs the football.
Well, that's a pretty vivid description, but I'll tell you, it works. And the play works, too, as he surges across the line for a big gain.
Yeah, it's all about using your blockers, Dan. They clear a path, you use the path.
Either that will put a touchdown in his stat column.
And that's always nice to have, Dan. So far, he's got 125 yards and 1 touchdown.
The extra point
It's
is
good. The ref gets the signal, and we're set. Elam booms a beauty here. Number 21 decides to take it out of the end zone. Breaks free, brought down at the 23.
Number 21 took it out of the end zone, and while it may have been a little risky, he gets out close to the 20, so it all comes out in the wash on that play.
The Browns offense has taken the field, and they have been having a very tough time passing the ball. They have another opportunity here as they start off at their own 23-yard line. Number 84 makes the catch in the flat, and that will be a gain of 3 yards.
number 39 with the tackle.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe there's anything in the utility to say whether or not the fullback or halfback's going to touch the ball. How often?
Second down. The clock is set at 2 minutes. Number 14 gets all of his arm into this pass, and it's off. Incomplete.
With the deflection.
Third down and 4 wideouts in the game.
Ball at the Browns, 26-yard line.
Number 86. The Browns take their first time out. Number 14 fires this one over the middle, and the catch is made for the Browns will take a timeout. That's their second. First down, 10 yards to go. Number 86 makes the catch out to the left. The Browns take a timeout. That's their final one. First down, the clock is stopped at 1:41. Number 14 zings it to the right side, and it's
Pass is
tipped.
incomplete.
Incomplete.
Number 39 with the deflection.
Number 14 showing off some precision passing out there, Dan. Clearly, he's exploiting the short game so far, and he's got 104 yards and 1 touchdown.
Second and 10. Ball at the 38-yard line.
Down! Listen up! Go 26! Listen up! Go 26! Hut! Hut, hut, hut!
Grabs the floater right sideline, and he's got the first. The clock continues to tick down. Number 14 rifles it out left side, and the catch is made at the 13, and he's stopped right there.
Holding. Number 73, offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Repeat
Number
first down.
73 gets the flag here. Let's check it out right now and see what happened. Yep, that's offensive holding. The refs were very right to throw that flag.
First down,
First and
coming up
20.
on the 10th play
Ball
of the
at
drive.
27.
Listen up! Gray 59! Listen up! Gray 59! Hut, hut!
Gets the sack,
Number
and the
68
clock
with the sack.
continues to run.
Down! Set!
Number 14 throws a bullet to the flat, and
Pass
it
is
is not
incomplete.
reeled in. Incomplete.
Number 44.
Number
was the
68
intended receiver.
anticipated the screen pass,
Number 68
got in
with
there,
the
and
cover.
prevented that running back from catching the pass.
Third down,
Third and
one
20.
man back.
Ball at the 28-yard line.
Down! Set!
Number 86 snags the dart right sideline, and he will be well short of the markers. The clock continues to wind
Fourth
down.
and 16.
Fourth down coming up.
Ball at the 23.
Number 14 passes a high, long one, and it falls
Pass is
incomplete.
incomplete.
They will turn the ball
Number
over
49
on down.
with the deflection.
Number 49 is all over this play, decisively knocking away the pass.
Miss Manners, I don't think, would approve of him cutting in so rudely like that.
What is he supposed to say? May I please bat away this ball?
Absolutely. Well, they don't convert on fourth down, and that will be it for them.
Yeah, chalk this one up in the L column, Dan. It's all over.
Loss of 1 on the play.
That'll do it for
That's the end of
tonight's game.
regulation.
The Broncos come out on top 34-7. For my partner, Peter O'Keefe, this is Dan Stevens saying goodbye until next time.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much.
All right, the next game would be the 49ers at the Bears. So if you guys are interested in seeing that at some point, throw a comment in the comments. This will be up on YouTube shortly. If you could throw a comment in there.
A 5-yard touchdown for the Browns. The Browns
And if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. I know the Browns fans probably didn't like that, but again, it's just a test.
with the ball at the 35. Number 7 connected with his man on this one. That set up a piece of cake 18-yard field goal.
And I'm going to do a little bit of research and see if I can't figure out a way to get a little bit more of the touches to go to the fullback, because I feel like Jim Brown should touch the ball a little bit, right?
Strike on this one. And that's where we'll leave this one. Bronx win big, 34-7. Now let's check in with our player of the game. A guy who made one big-time catch after another.
Well, it had to be McCaffrey, didn't it? He had 3 touchdowns, I think, didn't he?
Was kind enough to give us a moment of his time. He's on the field.
So we don't need to watch that. We'll go into the stats here. I just want to see what we look like. 17-11 on first downs. Browns gave up a lot of yards. Alright, so we had 63 and 51. Well, 51's a little bit low, but if you're not making first downs, you can't keep the ball. So that would mean time possession should be towards the Broncos, and it is. So I think I'm okay with that. Your average game is between 60 and 75 plays for each team normally. We're a little short of that with the Browns, but with the difference in time of possession, I think I'm okay with that. Had 1 turnover, which was an interception thrown by Elway, so the ratings look pretty good. 1 touchdown and no picks for Graham. That's actually better than playing on normal or fast. Normally it's more interceptions than touchdown passes. So if that continues, that trend, then we'll be playing on slow. But that's going to require some more testing. That's actually the first game I've played on slow. Elway's percentage was 61 too. That's pretty good. I haven't seen one really that high yet. Alright, so we do like that. What do we got rushing? Winder had 95, which is good because it'd been a couple games since I'd seen anybody over 60s. So I was getting a little bit worried. Maybe even 50. But we got Biner at 74. And we got Kelly had 5 attempts, only got 3 yards. That seems low for him. Although Denver's defense is pretty good. Little got 7 for 16. Fullback got 1 for 7. And see, Jim Brown has no touches there for rushing. That's something I would like to see if I can change. McCaffrey with a huge first half, 117 yards, only 20 in the second half, but he had 3 touchdowns, which was hard to overcome for the Browns. I guess you could say impossible since they didn't overcome it, right? Nobody had any fumbles, which I have seen a couple of those, so I'm not too worried about that just yet. I have the carry, the ball security, hold on to ball, I think they call it. I have that pretty low for everybody, and they still don't fumble, so the ones they do call as fumbles are usually catches that aren't caught, and they just come right out, and they call it a fumble, and then it's challenged, and it's not a fumble. Mecklenburg with 3 tackles, Dumerville, Carter, Mecklenburg, Golick all with 1 sack. So Denver had 3 and Cleveland had 1. We only had one interception, right? So that would have been Sumner against Elway. Kicking, Elam was 2 for 2. Dawson, he missed one, but that would have made it 34-10. So they still would have got shellacked, even if he'd made it. Average 43.3 and 41.9, and the net average is 34.3. So the longer punter had a lower net average. So the 43.3 had the 34.3, and the 41.9 had 35.3. He did have one inside the 20, though. Nobody got blocked. Special teams, Metcalf with one kick return for 26 yards. How is that possible? There were 4 touchdowns scored by Denver. How is there only one kick return? Oh, maybe it was touchbacks. I'm stupid. And then we got returns on the punts. Average 6.6 and 8. No touchdowns. I've not seen a touchdown return yet for a kickoff or a punt. I've seen a couple that looked like they might break it, but didn't actually. Pretty good with the quarterback numbers for that. I mean, you'd like to see Graham play a little bit better. Maybe keep the game close, but it is what it is. Maybe next time, right? I'm pretty happy with all those numbers for the most part. Like I said, I'd like to see if I could get Brown more touches for the Browns. Because it doesn't look like he had any, even receiving. Did he have receiving? No, it doesn't look like it. No, I didn't throw him a screen either. Didn't even throw to him for an incompletion, which is not good. I gotta see if I can do something about that. I may not be able to, but it'd be nice if I could. The other thing that I could do, I can't do it through the utility though. I'd have to do it once the game starts, I think, is to do a situational substitution where he's in the halfback spot, maybe. I don't know if it'll let me do that either, but may have to look at that as well. Alright, so we had Atwater had 6 tackles, Minifield had 6 tackles, Romanowski with 4, Dennis Smith with 4, Tom Darden with 4, Crockett with 3, Mecklenburg with 3, Perry, sacks. How do we have for sacks? We had 4, okay. Pass deflections, Smith had 3, Howell had 2, Matthews, Dixon, Bailey, all with 1, Gradishar, Shar, I don't know how he pronounces it. Okay, that's the yards for the sacks. No defensive touchdown there. Four tackles for loss, that'd be the sacks. No fumbles forced or recovered. I think I'm pretty good with those for the most part. I think my only concern is seeing if I can get certain teams to get the fullback touches, because I think Jim Brown has to touch the ball, doesn't he? I mean, he has to, right? Alright, so we'll go ahead and wrap that up. So if we go into roster management and we go over to the Browns fullbacks. See, Jim Brown and Motley are 100. They got to get touches. Motley's a better blocker as far as pass blocking. They're both the same for run blocking, so that's pretty good. Brown's got a better catch, so he's not as high as the tight ends or the wide receivers. I wonder if that's why they're not throwing to him. His speed and agility's better than Motley. Motley's break tackle's better. Strength's pretty close. I just think they both got to get some touches because they were both pretty good. But how I do that, I don't know yet. I got to figure out a way, though. All right. So you can see there that they have a picture for Allstott, but if I go back over to the 49ers and I go to wide receiver, you can see Jerry Rice doesn't have one. They do have one for him, but with these rosters, I'm putting in a lot of people they don't have pictures for, so I don't want to have one-offs, so I've removed all the pictures. Another thing I will point out is I've made the year's pro rookie for every player. And the reason I did that is because if you do this roster in a franchise, I didn't want you to lose every player at the end of the season to retirement, right? So you can play multiple seasons if you want to see, how things come out differently, if they do. And that's part of why I'm doing the test plays, because I want to make sure that even if it's rare, I want to make sure that the Browns can beat the Broncos or the Bears or whoever. Like I said, I did not save the games from the first schedule to make sure everybody is competitive with everyone else. And there are some blowouts, just not that many. And the Browns only had one win, but that does mean they beat somebody out of the 49ers, Bears, Bills, Bengals, and it might have been the Bengals, and Broncos, but I don't remember who it was. But we'll continue to test play. Like I said, I have 6 different schedules to do the test plays to make sure that they end up in different standings, just to make sure that it's competitive. We have everyone entered through the first 6 teams. And based on, that's where we are. Buccaneers are next. Buccaneers and Cardinals will be next. And I'm trying to do it in 2s and then go back in and do the looks for the players, because I do the looks in here just because it's a little bit easier, because you can see what the player looks like when you do it in here. I do have to go and do the names in the utility, just because I did some in here already and now it won't let me do any more. So if I try to edit his name, it's like I don't have any left. But the utility doesn't go against that, so I can do all I want in there. It's just harder to do the look because you can't see the player in the utility. So once I get the rosters entered, I bring it back into here and I enter the look. And I'm thinking about, because I got to import it, do the look for the 2 teams, and then export it again to do the next 2 rosters. So I'm thinking about just going ahead and doing all the roster names and then bringing it in to do the looks, and then just maybe do it 2 at a time and take a break, that kind of thing. I do have to go in. You can see the body type there. If I go to the next screen, it says skinny. So there's an option in the utility to make the body type based off of the weight. So I think I'm going to do that at some point. And I don't know if it goes by team or if it does the whole roster. So I'll have to monkey with that. But I think the next time I'm in the utility, I'm going to run it for all 6 of these teams. and see what I get. So you can see he's skinny. Go back out and go to centers, 250, 250, 270. No, we don't have anybody. Deerdorf's 280. That's the biggest guy we got, really. There's a 290. Let's see what kind of body type they gave him. Yeah, see, he's pretty big. Large. Largest and large. So yeah, I'm going to go through and have it do that automatically and see what it gives everybody. Hopefully it'll be good. I used a an originally updated roster for well, off of the roster site, but I don't remember what it was called because I changed the name of it. But it had, as you can see, like it's got Mel Gray and J.V. Kane. It's got some of the guys that I'll be doing also. The difference is I don't know that he updated all of the colleges or the years pro to rookie, so I'm doing both of those as I go. And then I have my own set of ratings, so they might not be 93s when I do it, which I'm fine with. Jim Otis. Now see, like his quarterbacks, so I'm thinking he did maybe just the starters, because if I pull up my roster for the Cardinals, let me move this over so you can see it. I go over to the Cardinals, and I go up to the quarterbacks, and I put in the career years, and this does not include anybody that was injured or something, out for a year, set out, whatever. See, his quarterback, he's got Hart as the starter, but he's got Shaw and Sterner. Is that Clint? Like, how would he ever be? And he's 49, so why would he ever be on a... Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a Razorbacks fan. But the Tennessee fumble where he lost his balance and just left the ball on the ground and lost the game, it left me speechless. So as you can see, I have Jim Hart, but I also have Neil Lomax and Charlie Johnson, and according to this, it looks like Neil Lomax is going to be the starter. I mean, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, but that's what it looks like. But I just found it odd that he didn't do everybody. He just did like the starter. So I don't know if that's just time he didn't want to take, or if he didn't want to do the research to find out who else to put there. I don't know what the deal is. And then what do we got for running backs? We got Terry Metcalf, Ashton, Latin, and Moss. And so Metcalf would be the only player there that would be on the list that I have. I have Otis Anderson, Ollie Matson, and Charlie Trippy to go with Terry Metcalf. So how... And Otis Anderson looks like he may be the starter once I get everybody entered. So I don't know where he got his information at. But I find it funny. And I got Centers and Farrell as the fullbacks. He's got Jones and Otis. So I don't know where those two came from. But I don't have either one of them in mind, did I? The second one wasn't. No, I have Centers and Farrell, so I don't know where he got those. But and then wide receivers, he doesn't have Fitzgerald at all. He doesn't have Roy Green at all. I do have Mel Gray. He doesn't have Pat Tilley, Anquan Bolden, or Bobby Joe Conrad. Bolden, as you know, if you follow football at all, also played for the Ravens, but he had more points more approximate value in the Cardinals list, so that's where he went. And then tight ends. Now, see, I got J.V. Kane as a tight end. Was it tight ends I was looking at? No. Where did he have Kane at? I did see J.V. Kane, did I not? There he is. So he's got him as a wide receiver. Huh? Now I gotta pull up. Now I gotta pull up the. And this is the site that I used to get all this stuff. Oh, I guess he was both. But I got him as tight end for 3 years, so he would have been receiver for 1 year. Or maybe they flipped him back and forth or something. I don't know for sure. He only had 13 for his AV, though. So they must have been pretty lacking for tight ends, yeah? Doug Marsh, I've heard that name. So I got Doug Marsh, Jackie Smith, and J.V. Kane at tight ends. And he has none of them. So I don't know. Jackie Whitworth. So let's go look at this guy. So it says he was... I don't know if that's accurate for... Actually, you know what? I think that is Jackie Smith. That's probably... Yeah, that's changed the name because of stuff that I've done. So that's fine. So he's got Jackie Smith. The name changes that I've done is, I think that's affected that with the Bengals Whitworth lineman. So I'm fine with that. So he's got Jackie Smith. He does not have Doug Marsh or J.V. Kane, which I don't think he changed either one of those. I think they're original rosters. But anyway, just to kind of give you an idea of at least the level of effort that I'm trying to do here. And then I'll also have some free agents. So if there's people that you don't agree with, then you'll have options in the free agency pool. I tried to do one from every team at every spot. And then I did like the AV stuff to, let me unhide that, to determine who got in. The only issue I see with this way is the linemen got a crap ton of people in because their AVs are, it seems like they're escalated. And then I actually think I got rid of this guy, but I don't remember why. I added somebody. I can't remember who it was now. Oh, it was Bo Jackson. Because he didn't play very long, so... people you expect to see like that either didn't play long enough or they played with several different teams, so they didn't have enough AV for one team to get in. I'm trying to make sure I grab them for the free agency pool. And as you can see, I have enough linemen that I can get rid of offensive linemen in order to get those people in. So I got 20, I think I still got 28 there because I think I got rid of Pyle. And then I got 14 guards and 21 tackles. So there are some people here I would like to see in, like Jake Long and things like that. But if I find other people like Bo Jackson that I do want to get in, I will probably take off the linemen. Maybe defensive ends. I'm not sure yet. If I do defensive ends, I probably wouldn't want to go any more than 2 because Leonard Little, I think, should be there. Outside linebackers, I have 18, so maybe that. Although Rufus Porter probably should be there. Only got 6 inside linebackers. Man, I do see some names there that I recognize, but I don't feel the need to make sure they're in for them. A couple of people I know there as well, but I also don't feel like they have to be in. Only 5 strong safeties. I do see some there that could possibly be in, though. Maxie, Washington, Burris, and Blackman. Pretty common names. Carlton Williamson, I'm surprised he didn't make it. I thought he would. And then strong safeties, I have 13. Terry Kennard just missed. Eric Turner just missed. Gary Barbaro. All of those I feel like could be there. Maybe even as far as, well, either one of these, Schultz and Teague. I could see them being in. But I got a lot of kickers too. I got 15 kickers, but by the names, I feel like maybe all of them, but maybe Chip should be there. Although Chip had pretty good AV, so. And that was a shocker there. Actually, both of those, I would have thought they would have been starters, very possibly. Even that one for the Dolphins, I would have thought. And that one. And then this one could be Graham. He had enough points that he could have been the starter for the Bengals, but Jim Breach actually got the spot there. Only got 1 punter, which I found kind of odd. Although I don't really see too much there I'm worried about, except for maybe Gossett and Arnold, but other than that, I wouldn't. Like, the Donnie is so high, so much higher on AV than the others. It just only made sense to bring the one. And again, we could tweak that based on how many linemen and everything we have, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So, there's the final standings of the first schedule that I played. And to be honest, it looks like we're headed down the path that could be similar this time. Let me hide this stuff back here. As you can see, the Browns are now 0-2. They lost big to the Broncos and by 8 to the 49ers. I am pretty happy that the 49ers was competitive. I did start this not planning on streaming it, and it was, I want to say it was 7-7 around the end of the first quarter. And the Browns offense had played much better than that. I was debating on whether or not I was going to start it over so I could stream it, which I did, but I wish I hadn't, to be honest, because I think the Browns, they would have at least kept it close if they didn't win it. But and again, we got the 49ers and the Bears next. And then you can see we have the other games, Bengals, Bills. There are not home and away for each. That would double the size of the schedule. So it's kind of just a potluck of how many home and away you get, but it's at least 2 or 3 of each. They tried to keep it fairly even. Just kind of a round robin kind of a schedule. I think that's going to do it for us for this stream. Just trying to go over a few things to let you guys know what's going on with it and where I'm at. Again, I have the first 6 entered. You can see the green. Yellow means that the roster is entered, and green means that the look of the players is done. So we are at the Buccaneers. They will be entered next. I just added the career years only because I don't really have to enter this. I added it to this screen only because I found some that were missing, and that affects the rating because the number of years they played against some of their stats determines some of their ratings. So I wanted to make sure that everybody had that as I enter these, because being that it's compared to every other player at that position, it would change everyone to re-enter that, or to enter that into that player. And I had talked about on my last video that I was going to break these guys out, the free agents out, into their own tab, which I did for entering purposes. You can see that here. Scroll up to the quarterbacks here. So you can see that the free agents are here. They're on their own tab for this piece so that I can enter them when it's time. I did find missing years on quarterback. I think it was one quarterback, one wide receiver, one guard, or actually it was two wide receivers, I think. One guard and one inside linebacker. So I have to go through the teams that are entered and make sure that those didn't change and or fix them if they did. But where I was going with that is if I go back over to the positions, I did not break out free agents like I had talked about doing. And the reason I did not do that is because I compare all the players to the other players at that position, so it made more sense to keep them on the same sheet. So they are on the quarterback sheet or whatever position they're at. And that's because of the piece over here that adjusts against the other players. Because if I had that on a separate sheet, the way that it's coded right now, it would only do the free agents against the free agents, which I did not want. And then I would have had to do a free agents for every position because the ratings are different for each position, like the max they can be and all that kind of thing. So it made a lot more sense just to keep them on the regular. I'm actually surprised Abear didn't make the roster. Who's on the Saints? How did Abear not make the roster, right? Well, I mean, I could see that, I guess, but being that his rating is 94, I'm thinking he might get swapped out with Brooks. 94, that's pretty good. Would he start? No, Breeze would still start. I may swap him out with Brooks, but that would also make Archie third string. I don't know, dude. They're both pretty good. And again, when I enter this in the game, it'll be different. This is just kind of a guide for me to know how they compare to the other players. It's not, because the game actually uses body weight and stuff in the ratings deal, and I can't find formulas for that. Otherwise, I would have it in here. So that's kind of just a guide for me to know who's how somebody is rated compared to someone else at that position. I think that's about it for now. But yeah, I gotta look at some of these to see, because I think if I go over to the Browns, Kozar's 93. So he's right there with those guys. So technically he could be there. But when I did AVs, Sipe had more than Kozar did. That's why he's on here and not Kozar. Oh, no, that's not the right spot. But yeah, I got to look at some of these to see. So like the Lynn Dickey, I believe, was a Packer. He's 92. He wouldn't start for sure. Yeah, he's not. He's not even there. They all had higher than that. I'm pretty sure he was a Packer. So I got to look at a little bit of that and see what's going on. So, Luck's a Colt. He's 94, so he might have should have been there. Well, I mean, the low one's 94 there as well, so kind of a toss-up, I guess. I would have liked to have had a little bit more disparity between the people at the positions, which I do have in some of the other positions, but I would have liked to have had it at quarterback as well, but the interception rate was ungodly bad. And so I tried to make it to where everybody could read coverage and be accurate as much as possible, but still having a little bit of difference. Like you can see here, there's very little, but the accuracy is a little bit different for each one. I would love to have that be more disparity, but I just can't. Like I don't want games where you got 2 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Like I don't want that to be the normal. I'm okay if it happens once in a while. But if all of the quarterbacks in the league end up with more interceptions than they have touchdowns, that's not realistic. And I don't want that. So I'm trying to figure out a way to combat that. So I reduced the coverage for the defenders uh, a little bit. You can see Boyd there's pretty high. So that means whatever that's going off of, he had the highest amount of. I may have to look at that formula because I don't know why he would be. Like you would think it would be somebody like a Revis or somebody, right? I'm sure it has something to do with interceptions, I would imagine. But I'll have to look at the formula. So anyway, I try to reduce that a little bit just to give the quarterbacks a little bit more of a chance to complete some stuff. And then the safeties were just jumping every ball, so I reduced them a little bit more. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I may adjust things again. We'll see. Anyway, I think that's about it. Why is Freeney so low? Speed's decent, agility's decent. Got the strength. Run coverage is probably the issue. Yeah, it's got to be that. Well, I expect them to all say 100 in the game anyway, or close to it anyway. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for us. If you guys had any questions, just post it on the YouTube video that this will be up on in a little bit. And I'll try to answer it in the comments as well, or maybe even on the next video, or both. We'll see how things go. Let's see, that shows Tom Matt's going to be the starter. But James and Moore are right there on him, so who knows? We'll see when we get it entered, right? Alright, guys, that's going to do it for me. We'll talk at you next time. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure you hit a like and a follow. Would be nice. Appreciated. We'll talk at you next time. Peace.